Good night, good evening. Love the win. I thought defensively played well in the first half. Getting off the field, did a good job at the line of scrimmage, handled some of the perimeter screen game really well. Offensively, a little bit up and down in the first half. Execution, really the turnovers hurt. I thought defensively they did a good job responding to those, and then offensively getting points off the turnover, and obviously Will Wright, big play in the second half too. So, still a lot of things to clean up here. Get back to SEC play next week, and go on the road. So, get ready to go.
Adam.
Josh, you said you had some things to clean up. Do you attribute anything like that to the off week and the rust that comes with that, or the fact that it's not an SEC game? Do you attribute any of the mistakes to that?
I don't know that I would attribute it directly to that. During the week, I thought there was a day where offensively, we weren't on edge at practice, and it's a fine line. When you get to game day, it doesn't just happen. I said that to him in the locker room too. And at the same time, it's not necessarily going to be perfect, and you can have expectations going into the game, but it's 11 on 11. So,
Mike.
Yeah. Josh, Boo not being available today. What was the reasoning for that? And was he at the stadium today?
At the end of the day, there's a standard you got to meet to be in that locker room, and so he was not out on the field with us. That'll be the last. That'll be my last response to anything related to that for right now.
Coach, you had 4 different players score a rushing touchdown tonight. What was working so well for you guys on the ground?
Ultimately, some of those drives got down there. We bust one. Great balance, and running through some trash. Joey pulls it, on short yardage play, and they don't have contain off of that pressure, and good job reading it by him. So, some good execution down in the tight zone, and down there you got to be able to run the football.
Eric.
Josh, any update on Kitzelman or Moy or Bishop? Some of those guys got banged up there at the end.
Yeah, I don't have an update on those guys. They'll get evaluated tomorrow, like everybody.
Ben.
Josh, how have you seen George progress throughout the season, and what do you think of his limited time in there tonight?
Yeah, limited time, just the way the fourth quarter unfolded. George has continued to get better in the reps that he gets during practice, the bye week. Obviously, a heavier load than probably a normal game week. I thought he went out there and handled himself well. Throws the boot play and picks up yards, and then the 1 3rd down. Just we're getting beat up a little bit in man press, but all in all, he's continued to grow.
Back to Eric.
Josh, what did you see on the 2 interceptions from Joey?
Yeah, the one is intermediate concept. Ball's a little bit inside. We got to go close out and finish on the play too, and he's moving in the pocket on the second one. He saw the post player, was actually trying to throw the over, and body may not have been in a great position, and gets hit a little bit on the play, and the ball just sails on him. 2 plays that we have to go execute, and can't be turnovers.
Patrick.
Josh, what have you seen from Jaden Perlotti? It seems like every time he's in the game, especially when he's seeing the ball and go getting it, he's closing fast and making plays.
Yeah, see ball, hit ball, go get it. Yeah, and he's pretty good at that. Fast, destructive, violent, physical, and got great explosive power, and does a good job in his pressures. Obviously, the 15-yarder, on the I think it was 3rd and 20 from the 20. You can't get 15 on that, but he's a young player that continues to grow.
And Ty Redmond too. How have you seen him sort of handle being a freshman corner in the SEC and getting targeted and making the play today?
Life in the SEC, you're playing against really good competition. And when you're young, they're going to try you, and there's been some ups and downs for him, like there is for every player during the course of a schedule. And I like his resiliency. how he competes on the practice field, continued growth, and going to be a great player.
Back to Ben on the left.
Josh, what DeJuan Morris do to earn those opportunities on punt return?
Yeah, he's just been really consistent here. We had him in there early in the year. Game one, he got some opportunities, and as a young player, just understanding how the game gets played and the nuances of it. He's just continued to grow in his ability to communicate and understand when he's got space, and so we've been continuing to grow him in that role.
Wes.
Josh, I guess just generally speaking, with some of the guys who didn't play tonight because of injuries, were there any situations where some of those guys, if this were a league game, could have gone?
Yeah, I think a majority of those guys, probably would have been able to go.
Middle.
Coach, this is with New Mexico State. Do you kind of use this as an opportunity to try anything new or try any concept with the guys or anything like that?
Like defensively, certain positions in particular, played a lot of young guys today. Defensively from them, they're kind of a defense of the day every week. They're very multiple in what they do, and so early in the football game, figuring out who and what they were going to be and trying to adjust to it.
Josh, the defensive line seemed to get a lot of PBUs. David Hobbs had a couple, Tyree West in the pick sixes. What allowed those guys to have that success, being able to get quarterback's face and get hand up?
Yeah, I thought early in the football game, thought they would do it, but a lot of RPOs, perimeter screen game, get the ball out quick as the game went on, and you were able to get into some third and long situations, second and long. The ability for those guys to rush the passer and win at the line of scrimmage and affect the quarterback. I thought as the game went on, we did a better job of that, and in part just because we had more opportunity to.
Eric. And then
Josh,
Wes.
can a young guy like Deshaun Brame and his versatility, being able to do some different things, help you guys, on the road next week and back here defending?
Yeah, Deshaun's continued to grow. A guy that missed a bunch of all of spring ball, and as he's come back, learn how to play in the core. Extremely gifted out in space, natural. You saw him out there some tonight, but certainly has an opportunity to help us on the stretch, and we've been planning and working towards that.
Josh, with Hobbs specifically, him going before he got hurt in camp, what kind of an off season had he had, and how much was he missed early in the year?
Yeah, he's encountered a couple of injuries before this fall, and I don't want to say that that's necessarily stunted his growth, but he's missed a bunch of time. I thought he had an elite off season, and was playing really good football during the course of training camp. Him being hurt, Jackson Moy being hurt early in the year, certainly hurt us defensively. And then you throw in the corners. There's a lot of pieces of the puzzle that weren't there. Getting him back, getting him fully integrated, healthy, it's a huge part, a huge help to us defensively.
Last one to Paige.
Josh, it seemed in the third quarter you guys are really trying to establish the run. How would you evaluate the overall success you guys had in the ground game?
Yeah, I thought in the third quarter, just structurally how they were playing things, that was something that we were pointing to, and I thought we went out and executed, those scenarios, those opportunities pretty well in the second half.
Thank you, Coach. We'll have players up